we've seen a significant rise in Chinese nationals entering the UK and having been exploited, and they're predominantly who make up the detention estate, especially the female detention centre, Yarlswood, which is in Bedford. We've noticed an increase in the Chinese nationals that we're coming across, all of whom we end up having to refer onto the National Referral Mechanism, which is the mechanism used to identify victims of trafficking. And they've been encountered in brothels, massage parlours, the usual places where you would expect to find victims of trafficking. So that's a rise we've seen, and I would say in the last 2 years, it's a common theme. It's so prevalent. And we also come across in the male detention centres, not only Chinese nationals, but we've got a lot of Vietnamese nationals who are brought to the UK and they're exploited here, and they're forced to cultivate cannabis, to work in cannabis factories. So it's been on the rise, I would say, in the last couple of years. In the UK, I think our immigration policies actually aid traffickers and people who are exploiting others, because they use the fact that the people that they've brought in, the people they're exploiting, have no status, who are innately distrustful of authorities, and so that the way they operate is, if you don't do this, we're going to hand you into the police and you're going to be arrested and deported. So they're using our own immigration policies against us by being able to ensure that these individuals don't try and escape. And it's just the constant threat that they're getting all the time of deportation, and they've spent X amount of money to come to the UK, or they fled, for safety of their lives. So they obviously are fearful of returning, so they end up staying in these situations. One of the women who I'm representing now, she had a very traumatic journey coming to the UK. She was in a refrigerated lorry, and she actually didn't think she would survive the journey, but she had to leave China because her husband's loan sharks had come to her home, and they had tortured her, broken her arm, broken her leg, and she had nowhere else to go, no means to get a job, no education from a rural village, no family members that would support her. So she had to make this journey to the UK. She came to the UK, and then she was driven straight to a brothel. I think the narrative needs to change. Although the Home Office state that they've got this guidance for trafficking victims on what they're meant to do, and things that they should be aware of in trafficking claims, such as the myth that people will disclose as soon as someone from the police or immigration encounters them, that they're going to disclose what's happened to them. So although it's in their own policy that they are to understand that that's not actually what happens, people don't disclose straight away. They still, I'm seeing it time and time again, negative decisions on trafficking claims because they did not immediately, when they were first encountered, tell whoever it was that encountered them that they were being